Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. Fresh from her triumph in Paris, Julian Alfred assembled a powerful sequence of races in June and July, winning 4 of 5 appearances and setting a personal best in the 200m at the London Athletics meet. Her 21.71 seconds, there was not only a career best, but also a new meeting record, underscoring her ascent to the very top of global sprinting. Yet just as the conversation around her dominance was building, confusion and uncertainty began to shape the narrative of her. But before taking those steps back, let us share the good news first. The official Instagram account of the Zurich Diamond League at Welcome shared the update of Julian Alfred to be back in the Zurich Diamond League final. The post reading, ladies and gentlemen, Olympic champion Julian Alfred, glowing star, August 28th, Let Run Stadium, 2002. Central European time, captured the zeal the entire community must be feeling, especially after all that happened in mid-August. Organizers and media outlets reported that Alfred had suffered an injury, claiming she would miss 3 important stops in Cilicia, Lausanne, and Brussels. Headlines declared the absence of the 100-meter Olympic champion, and the prevailing storyline painted a portrait of physical setback weeks before the season's decisive events. Yet, her performances remained among the finest of 2025. A 10.75-second run in Stockholm ranks second in the world this year behind Melissa Jefferson-Wooden, and her consistency across varying conditions from Oslo to Monaco had already secured her ticket to the Zurich final. It was here that the central issue emerged. Alfred later told the St. Lucia Times that she was neither injured nor sidelined. She described the reports as fake news, explaining that she was fine and healthy, but deliberately stepping away to focus on preparation for Zurich and the World Championships in Tokyo. In her words, she was working on things in preparation for the last few races. The revelation placed scrutiny on the reliability of the Diamond League's communications and highlighted how swiftly misinformation can alter the perception of an athlete's trajectory. For Alfred, the damage was not physical, but reputational, with her name tied unnecessarily to fragility rather than discipline. This was not the first time that her relationship with the Diamond League has been unsettled. Earlier in her career, she struggled to balance commitments across the circuit, and her training load often clashed with scheduling demands. Now, as the reigning Olympic 100-meter champion, the stakes are higher. By stepping away from Cilicia and Lausanne voluntarily, she may have sacrificed anticipated matchups with Jefferson-Wooden and Sha'Carri Richardson, but she protected her long-term goals. The Zurich final at the end of August, followed by the World Championships in Tokyo, will demand her absolute sharpness, and she appears determined to manage her own timeline, regardless of outside speculation. The Zurich organizers have confirmed that Alfred will line up in the 100 meters. This return sets the stage for a direct test of her resilience after a month of conflicting narratives. The broader lesson is as important as the race itself. In a sport often defined by fractions of a second, clarity of communication can be as crucial as performance on the track. The Diamond League has acknowledged its earlier missteps and the shift in tone around Alfred suggests that the circuit is eager to restore credibility. Whether she wins in Zurich or not, Julian Alfred has already asserted control over her story by running fast when it mattered, and by challenging the misinformation that briefly threatened to derail her season. While now Julian Alfred is ruling the tracks as the reigning Olympic champ, her journey to the podium was not a cakewalk. Alfred reflected on how poverty, loss, and sacrifice shaped her path to Olympic 100-meter gold. Julian Alfred turns poverty and sacrifice into Olympic 100m glory. Julian Alfred speaks of victory in Paris, with the candor of someone who understands the cost of ambition. Her journey to the Olympic 100 meters title did not unfold in comfort, but was shaped by deprivation, solitude, and an early confrontation with grief. The sacrifice to leave my family at a tender age, the age of 14, to just chase my dreams. It was definitely a tough decision for me, she recalled, underscoring the distance she accepted in order to pursue a career that once seemed far beyond her island's reach. Her words are never far from the memory of hardship. Some days my mother struggled to find something for us to eat, but I never gave up. I kept pushing, she reflected. Childhood in St. Lucia meant running without proper shoes and watching her mother stretch scant resources to feed the family. Later, the death of her father brought such a sharp interruption that she temporarily left the sport altogether. These moments, however, built the resilience that allowed her to endure the long years of training abroad, where she was compelled to live apart from the familiarity of home and the presence of her closest relations. Now, with an Olympic gold medal resting in her nation's history, Alfred speaks of a balance between anguish and satisfaction. There have been so many things that I can't pick one, but I think all those challenges that I've been through have prepared me for what's to come in my life, she explained. For Alfred, triumph is not only the title of the world's fastest woman, but the affirmation that perseverance, forged in poverty and sharpened by personal loss, in the unforgiving world of athletics, reputations rise and fall in the blink of an eye. Few know this better than Julian Alfred, the St. evolution sprinting star who has lived through the full spectrum of emotions, praise, doubt, criticism, and now redemption. As the Diamond League season powers forward, Alfred's name is no longer whispered with hesitation. Instead, it is spoken with renewed admiration, proof that even in a sport defined by milliseconds, time can also heal. Just a year ago, conversations about Alfred often came tinged with disappointment. Her incredible collegiate career, highlighted by NCAA dominance and an NCAA 60-meter record, had not yet translated smoothly into consistent professional brilliance. The transition seemed rocky, and fans questioned whether the sprinter who once promised to be the Caribbean's next great beacon could truly shoulder that weight. Mistakes on the track, be it misty starts, pressure-filled